welcome to my channel. Welcome to this week's WiPnChat. Grab your cuppa of whatever sort you're drinking and grab your work, whatever you are doing. Today I'm going to do a bit more of my DP Get Your Big On, just because I can. And it happened to be the kit that was on the top of my pile. I did notice a couple of these had decided to leave the canvas, so I have already fixed them. I've got all my spare drills off to the side, the ones that are in this small section, and yeah, let's get into it. Now, as always, I suppose I'll start with a bit of a catch-up. Oh, I don't know what's happened this week. What has happened this week? I've worked. I had my worker comp tribunal-y thingamajiggy where they were basically saying we shouldn't have to pay this, and the tribunal person said, yeah, you know what, they have a reasonable excuse not to, so they haven't, so they've cancelled my workers comp. But I have at least seemed to find something that works, and that is the dry needling. Although there's some bits of me that they won't stick needles into because apparently they're too near things like lungs, and you know, you might need a lung. There is severe warnings given when she's about to do this, saying, you know, if you've any shortness of breath or anything like that, because they're sticking the needles in. She said that the issues really with the needles and the lung areas are when people roll over with the needle still inside. It's like, okay. Yeah. Either way, it's working, and I actually really enjoy going to see my physio, and she's not just after the money. So I had 2 sessions last week, and I've got 1 session next week, and she's kind of going, you know, you might think you need it, but if your body is doing okay, your body is doing okay. And I've been reasonably pain-free, although I was hoping not to have to take paracetamol osteo, because I'm old. Not really. And I found this morning I was a little bit stiff and horrible when I woke up, so it was like, oh god. So I've put them back into my morning and evening kind of supplement trays. I take supplements of a morning that contain magnesium, lysine, fish oil, chondroitin and glucosamine, and I think there's zinc in there somewhere as well at the moment, but that's just as needed. I think that's about it. So the chondroitin and glucosamine, they're for my knees because my knees croak like frogs, and the lysine is to help keep the cold sores at bay as much as possible. Fish oil for the knees, just for general lubrication, and magnesium for muscle ache. So I take them in the morning, and I have to take them in the evening. If I don't take magnesium chelate in the evening, I've got the whole restless legs, and it's a nightmare to be in my skin in the evening when I don't take them. And I need to try and take them around about 5 o'clock in the evening, I've found. Otherwise I will be twitching and jumping, and it's all kinds of uncomfortable. It's the worst feeling in the world. If you have restless legs, you will know what I'm talking about. Other than that, I don't tend to take anything, and I don't like taking things just for the sake of it, you know. So I mean, I've had my fads. My husband will chew vitamin C like it's going out of fashion, but he reckons it's keeping him from getting sick. So there's method to his madness too. He's on slightly more serious drugs. No, I put peas. For his pain. So I do try and temper it. Oh, the joys. Okay, so what? No, I didn't say you were bad-tempered. Oh, he said I can if I like. No, he's grumpy when he doesn't take his meds. You know what that's like when you don't take your meds and you start getting shitty because you're in pain? Yeah. I've noticed that at work too. There was a couple of days where I was really bad, and I snapped at some of my colleagues and had to go around and say, look, I'm really sorry, but yeah. Anyway, getting better. Oh, alright, so work. Work has been nothing really overly dramatic, but I had my very first Zoom conference on Friday. Technology. Let me just say, technology works when it's great. When it's great, when it works, it's great. So I use Bluetooth headphones at work because the speaker is at the back of the laptop, and I don't necessarily want to turn the sound up and have it blasting out the back of the thing, because then I still can't hear it properly. So tried to get the Bluetooth headset working, and I get an email saying, hey, you're not in the meeting, where the hell are you, is everything okay? And I went, no, I'm having technical issues. So she boots everyone out into the meeting room and tries to hook up with me, and I'm still not getting the sound to work, and it's like, oh, right, okay, I give up on the computer, I give up on my Bluetooth, it's just not playing ball, and did it without the Bluetooth speaker, so I just had speakers, and I'm struggling to hear, and you know, the leader of the meeting is struggling to hear other people, and it was just a bit of a schmozzle, and I hated it. So after the meeting, the host came back to me and said, okay, look, let's troubleshoot this and see if we can get it fixed for you. So I restarted the computer, got the Bluetooth playing, and put the meeting back on, and I'm kind of going, okay, there's got to be something in the settings here that I'm doing wrong. What the hell is it? Well, there's two lots of settings for your mic and headphones or speakers. So I was going into one and I was making the change, and I'm kind of thinking, well, that's what it's supposed to be doing, and it's paired, and I'm hearing YouTube or other audio through the headphones. Found out that there was hard settings in the background, and I was like, oh my god. Fixed the hard settings and the Bluetooth worked, and it's like, yay, go! Oh my lord, it was just like far out. Really frustrating with technology. So when I had my meeting then in the afternoon, not a problem, Bluetooth worked a treat, could hear everything because it's right in my ear this time around, and yeah, that was an almost pleasure. It's really, really weird. What they say, people who do Zoom conferences, they actually look at themselves more often. Maybe because I do YouTube, I don't look at me. I mean, I look at me, so you're seeing, right now, I'm looking at me and my camera. Oops. And I just realized this is not a floss tube. So let's get rid of that. So I'm looking at me and the camera. I'm actually looking at one screen. Yeah, I'm looking at my computer screen. I'm not looking at the camera. So yeah, I kind of, you know, are you in, you know, position and that kind of thing. But in general, yeah, I've kind of gotten over the whole, oh, it's me and I need to watch what I'm doing, and oh my god, that's weird. Do I do that? You know, it's, yeah, it's kind of like that. So I was kind of glad that I wasn't doing that. I was pretty much looking away, or I was looking at the people who were doing the talking, and yeah, didn't really see a huge problem with it. I know there is a lot of controversy. My job place doesn't want us using Zoom, but the host isn't organising any alternative. So it's Zoom for now, until something else is done. So it is what it is. But I did see in my email that and news that Google are trying to do better and I don't know, just their video conferencing stuff just in a format that is going to compete with Zoom a bit better. I know schools here are using Zoom for their assemblies and things like that, so it became very, very popular. It comes up on all the search engines because Google aren't allowed to say that, hey, Google does this, because it's Google, and it seemed like self-advertising or something. So when you do a search for conference apps, Zoom comes up as the first search because they're probably paying for the advertising, and Google can't kind of go, well, we're good, we're here, you know. Hangouts has been here for years. I didn't know about Hangouts until my husband told me about it. And it's you know what's really weird? My husband and I chat all the damn time online, but we don't talk to each other on the phone much, so it's really weird when I have to phone each other and talk to each other on the phone. It's like, oh my god, I've, you know, forgotten how to be a human with you on the phone. It's so weird. Like, even when we were dating, it was like, you know, it was online, it was typing, or in person, it was, yeah. And because he can, well, he was probably on his phone and he swipes and he can type fast. And he types in code speak, so he types in abbreviations. So I had to learn them. So I'm kind of, what's TMI, for example? And I'm kind of going, what the hell's TMI? What's, or was it IKR? And it's like, what the hell? Or the other one he uses, TBH. I'm thinking, what the hell does that mean? Some of it I could kind of guess. Some of it I'm kind of going, I feel so stupid. So it's like, Google, please help me. And otherwise it was like, okay, I don't understand what that said. What does it say? And he'd have to explain it. Yeah, early days of dating, hey? It was crazy. But now I'm a lot more confident with my tech. And I have, like, I don't know, I've got a bazillion headsets and I've got the cameras and all this tech. And he's making me a flower. He's making me a flower light, actually, for my cross stitch, so I can cross stitch on the couch, because there's only so much sitting at my desk I can do. And also, there's only so much my little computer brain can do too, because it's going into meltdown if it does two things at once. It can't multitask either, which is a thing that my husband says nobody can actually multitask well. Yeah. So what have I been doing other than that? I have been cross-stitching. I have done some floss tube videos, which I think what I'll be doing with my floss tube is, I was kind of thinking maybe once a fortnight, but I don't know that I do enough to do fortnightly videos to show much of a progress or anything. There's been a bit of a glut initially, but I think I'll space it out and just do a floss tube maybe once a month on the weekend. Because it's talking about my cross stitch or wool work or something like that. So that's where my head is kind of going with that. Has it stopped? Oh, did you run out of Bluey? Wow. You need to go asleep. So sit down and I'll put something on. Alright, that'll... She's been a real pain this morning. She has asked for... Well, she hasn't asked for food. This is the problem. She's just whinged and moaned, not eaten what she has been given. Hang on. And, yeah, not eaten what she's been given, and then complained when she is given something. But then she's not asking for something, so she's kind of going, you know, now, which is her word for a biscuit. I don't know how she got that, but... She's not actually saying what she wants, and she was, you know, kind of alluding to the fact that she wanted something with bread, but then when I asked her what she wanted, she wouldn't tell me. Very frustrating, because I need her to start talking. And she needs to learn that the sooner she communicates, the sooner her needs get met. And she's pretty good with some efforts, but she's terrible with others. She just, it's like she gets embarrassed. She, you know, the head goes down and she gets all kind of the shy look, and it's like, and she's looking at you. She kept giving me the side eye this morning. She was sitting in a box and playing, and she kept on looking at me with this sideways look. It was so cute, but it's like, why are you doing that? Yeah, she's a funny kid. But she's probably now overtired and needs to lie down on the couch. Sophie, come and lie down on the couch. What is that? You got carrots? Come and sit on the couch. Come on. She is a bit of a fruit fiend though, so that's kind of good. So yeah, did a floss tube haul this morning when I was recording, and went through my nappy bag, which is the bag that I've stored everything in. The nappy bag is actually, you know, 26 years old. 27 years old, probably even longer. It was the bag that I started out with, a nappy bag, and I hated it. It was just too huge. It was a monster, and I upgraded the nappy bag to a backpack that I bought with supermarket points. In Ireland we had a supermarket called Super Quinn, and with the shopping you got like frequent shopper points kind of thing. And with the frequent shopper points you actually could trade your points in for goods, and some of the goods were suitcases and bags and jewellery and things like that. So I ended up trading points for a ring, which I still have, but I need to get fixed because it got too small for me, because yes, put on weight in all those years. And it had one ring snap. It was a Russian twisted wedding ring or something. So it had four interlocking kind of Celtic knot, and I figured out how to unlock it and lock it and that kind of thing. But that was my first purchase. I think my second purchase was a backpack, which I still have, and I think it might be an Antler backpack. I think it's Antler or Colorado, one of those really good brands. And it's, no, is it? It's coloured anyway. It's these bright colour. So the body of it's navy, but the trim is a green, and the something else is a red. The pocket is a red, and it's all these bright primary colours. That was my nappy bag. Have I got that right? Yep, yeah, I've got that right. So I used to carry around the backpack with, you know, change of clothes and a couple of nappies and things like that. So that was my kind of don't feel like I'm a mother kind of thing. And in the bottom of it I would stow my personal items, you know, personal handbag kind of thing. Yeah, and didn't feel like I was, you know, mother hauling, you know, half the kitchen sink with you when you go out with your kids as a first time mum. And yeah. So this traditional nappy bag got retired, and the cross stitch kits all went into it. So I had cross stitch kits from Ireland, and then I have more cross stitch kits from Australia. And I was going through recording these in my cross stitch stash, and I've got brand new kits that I have never opened that are from the 90s and from the early 2000s. So the noughties, I suppose. Is that the 2000s, the noughties? And it was like walking down memory lane. It was really cool seeing the special kits that I bought. But not only that, seeing these. So I used to subscribe to one of these magazine collections that, you know, it's like 300 magazines in 5 different folders and all that kind of jazz. And these were in some of the collections, so Needlecraft Magic, and yeah, I've written on some of them, and these are the ones I've just kept out. I had a heap of those little freebie kits that you'd get with the magazine. So I've got all of these to go through, and yeah, it was really kind of cool looking through it. I think I still have those brochures downstairs, which I hope, because the patterns are in them. I don't think I would have trashed those or left them behind. I left a lot of things behind when I left the ex and the house, but I'm hoping I kept those. Otherwise it'd be a bit of guesswork to get them. There's really only one? Oh, okay. So that was fun. That was a bit nostalgic. Enjoying the floss tube stuff. I'm enjoying doing the cross stitch in the evenings. I'm dying. My husband's making this flower lamp that's going to sit over my head, and I can't wait for that to be finished. It's this big pink fuchsia bell, and it's green scissors stalk Is there any more of these? Oh my goodness. Oh, there is another one of those. I don't think there is. So that will be a floodlight in my lap, basically. And the only thing I'll be lacking then would be a magnifying glass if I need it. But I'm finding I'm okay with the view so long as I can actually see it in the light. So if I've got the light behind me kind of lighting me up, I can generally figure it out. But I've got varifocals, so close up I'm finding, yeah, I can view it to kind of there, but if I really need to go close up, I've got to go under, and I can pull it even closer, so I can kind of see under these glasses because they're a bit shallower. I always used to wear these huge, big, you know, fill your face glasses when I was a teenager, and quite a ways into my 20s. I think they only got small when I was in my 30s, and it was really weird getting used to them because you couldn't look under your glasses, you had to tip your head, and with these ones I have to actually turn my head because the sides are fuzzy because of the varifocals. I don't know if I go for the bifocals, because that would mean that I have a reading field and then the rest is my normal reading. I've got to talk to an optician, but hey, COVID restrictions and all of that jazz, so I'm kind of reluctant to sit in a room with somebody in my face. Even though, as a state, we are doing reasonably okay with our numbers. We had no new reports for the last 2 days, after our little state has clocked up 13 deaths because it got into one of the rural communities up in the north of the state and got into a nursing home. So it's taking out a lot of the older people. I mean, we knew this was going to be an issue in Tasmania because Tasmania has got a predominantly mature age group in the state. But it came in off one of the cruise ships, and it's devastated the northwest. So from the point of view of number of deaths, 13 probably isn't a lot. Excuse me. But in the scheme of things, this is 7. I'm trying to read my writing. In the scheme of things, 7 from a reasonably small air region caused the lockdown of the whole of the northwest. So think of this as Tasmania. Okay, it's a little bit more of a heart shape, but think of that. This area here, over here, 5,000 people went into quarantine and lockdown. There was like, you're not allowed out kind of scenario almost. So that's how serious the authorities took this. Now I'm trying to find how many. I think there's only 3 that I'm seeing, so I'm not going to tip these out. So yeah, they shut down the northwest of the state for a 2-week period, and that 2 weeks flown past, it's over, and they're starting to get the restrictions lifted. Schools went back, and we've got printouts that we have been given to educate the kids, so that's been interesting. There's been some reluctance on some parts to do it. No, I'm not going to go into that area just yet. Q. Thing is that once she gets going, she's fine. Yeah. Anyway, I'm working, so I'm trying not to get overly involved, and yeah, that's not so easy. There's a yucky drill. Now, I'm not going to be able to show you this, but it looks perfect on top, but underneath it's got a lip. That's hideous. And there ain't no fixing that one. It's not like you've got the little rim, it was a chunk. So yeah, they definitely don't go down. Now, I noticed when I did my Frivolous Friday Facts, I actually went searching for some specific topics, And I did water facts. I didn't get so many hits on that one, so maybe not fun enough facts. I don't know. They were only short videos, the Frivolous Fridays. So if you've got any hints as to what facts to pick up, then please let me know, because I'm talking like a 10-15 minute video. It's the length of time it takes me to do a dot to dot. It's just a bit of light-hearted, maybe even potential stupidity and fun. And yeah, you can pass on some topics and I will look them up. What I need is enough of the topic that it will keep going for a little while. Oops, there is one more. What are you doing? Don't push them down. No, no, no. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Stop, stop, stop. No. No, it doesn't go there. Go sit down. Go sit down. Go sit down. Can you go change her, please? Go and get changed. Go and get changed, then you can come back. Speaking of kids, the 10-year-old was asked to do some knitting, so she got the needles located. I tried looking. I did a project with the kids that was knitting a square, but I did it for all of us, so we all had needles that I all thought were the same size, and can't even find the wool and can't find the needles now, which is really annoying. But found her some needles and she's going to knit a scarf. So she's got rainbow wool, which I thought was going to be bigger patches of rainbow, but it's not. This is going to look like a very mottled scarf that she wants to do, but I'll keep an eye on her stitches. She will frog it if it's wrong. Mwahaha. I know, it's cruel. And yeah, she couldn't remember how to do the cast on, so I had to show her that, and we worked it out together and everything, so it was good. It was good. But she's got started off on that. So that's the other thing. And I got her some cross stitch because she had expressed some interest. She was already into the knitting and had the knitting needles in her hand, and she wasn't interested in me showing her the kit, so that will get put away until she shows more interest again. But at least she's interested in the crafty stuff. She's done the knitting before, so once she was reminded how to do it, she was fine. So hopefully she won't drop any stitches. Hopefully she will realise where she's gone wrong and she'll be able to fix it. And she knows how many stitches that she's got in each row, so I'm hoping that that also will be able to keep her on track, because she was given knitting in the other house and I don't think she had anyone keeping an eye on her, and she ended up with extra stitches left, right, centre, and it just looked like a dog's breakfast. So yeah, it doesn't happen in my house, and she will be asked to check in with me every few rows, make sure she's going okay, and eventually hopefully she will learn how to do it herself, and she will be able to correct her own work, so that she doesn't get past one row before fixing it, if there's a problem. So that's what I'm hoping for. We can dream, can't we? Go with the spade. Now, did you get any of the new DACs? I know there's a lot of disappointed people out there. It all got released over the weekend and people had stuff in their carts and it disappeared from their cart before they could hit buy because they were inundated and they had limited stock. And I know DAC are doing their damnedest to keep everything kind of ticking over and behaving as normal at the moment, but this is far from normal times. So yeah, no, I didn't even try. It was 3 o'clock in the morning when those kind of things release. Usually there's time for me to jump on board, but to be honest, I don't tend to. The only thing I do really with those new releases is stick it in my wish list. So it's there for when I do my bulk purchase, because that's how I do my DAC purchases. I order in bulk to save on shipping and everything else, so I need to just save my money in the background and just bide my time for them to get restocked. And then go stupid. And it's not like I don't have some DACs sitting behind my monitor that I haven't even unboxed yet. So I'm certainly not desperate for diamond paintings. But out of the 6 new ones, I did like the Red Riding Hood and those little wolf cubs. I've been watching Ken's Creations, and now they've got a new page for the Hess. Yeah, Hess Kennels, Hess something. Yeah, I think it might be Hess Kennels. Anyway, Ken's Creations. Ken and Sean have amalgamated their names for the Hess puppy brand. They had a litter of golden retriever pups 9 weeks ago, I think. And I've been following the pups' progress, and so gorgeous watching the pups. So yeah, the Red Riding Hood wolf cubs were just like, oh, I so want a wolf cub kind of thing. I mean, the only thing I'm ever going to have is images. I don't even know if I'd get a pup again. I've got the beagle outside. He stays outside. He doesn't get to come inside. So I don't think a dog will be happening when he goes. He was lying out. I've got a kayak in the garden, and it's got a barbecue cover actually on it. He was lying on the barbecue cover in the sunshine, in the early morning sunshine, as he does, and yeah, went out and got chatting with him, and he's a funny boy. Oh, yesterday I got the urge to clean out the gutters. Our home is single story one side, double story the other side, because it's on a bit of a slope. And my old home was a single story, so I'm used to, you know, scraping the crap out of the gutters. But this gutter had garden and soil almost in the gutter, and it was just like, okay, I'm jack of this. It was raining. I don't know why I decided to do this. It was cold, and I still did it. Couples therapy, I tell you. So what I do is I feed my cats in the morning, and on a Saturday I will scrub out their water trough. Excuse me, there it is. I'll scrub out the water trough, and decided to scrub out their water trough and then clear the gutters, which is right above their water trough. So all of this debris fell in their clean water trough, and there's more debris that I found has fallen into their water trough today, so I'm gonna have to go out and clean it again. Dear. And of course, cats being cats didn't like it that there was gutter debris in their food that had fallen in, and they didn't touch the food. They didn't even pick out the biscuits from around the rubbish. I think Maka would have even done that much. Fussy things. So yes, that all got cleaned. And poor deprived animals. And it's funny, I've got... Okay, so now I've got left of the cats. I've got 4 cats left. I've got Godric, my black boy, who's the spitting image of Eli. He's a black cat. He's got green eyes. I think he's got green eyes. He's gorgeous. His coat is just... Oh. He's the kind of pet I'd, you know, keep the pelt. Yeah. Okay. Shh. Don't. We won't go into that story. Anyway. So yeah, Godric's gorgeous. He's my black cat, and then I've got 3 siblings. So the three siblings are two black and white boys. One has got a white nose and two white ears, and the other one is Zach, and he's got a black nose and two black ears, but otherwise they're just black and white splodgy cats. So it's the, I think Zach's got a black tail, top of his tail is black. Trying to tell the difference between these two when they were first there, it was like, oh crap, they just look the same, and it took me a while to kind of get into the sync of which was which. So Casey is my vacuum. Put a bowl of food down for him, and he opens his mouth like a giant big snake and hoovers the food into his mouth. It's like, far out cat. He's skinny as all hell. He's the one that the vet suggested might need to have a thyroid check done, or he might need to be tested for FIV. Then Zach is the other brother. Zach is awesome. Zach, the only way he really likes drinking water is running water from a tap. So I don't have a tap out where they are. I mean, I could dismantle the hose, but the hose is rigged to drip into Mokka's tub. So I'm not going to keep moving that. Anyway, what I do when I clean out the bucket is pour a 3-litre bottle that I've cut open. So it does a rapid fill, and then I can pour it into their container, which is, I don't know, a 10-litre kind of container or something like that, or even bigger, 15 maybe. It's just a big box. So what I do is I pour it through the outside of the enclosure, and Zach will actually come up to it and lick it as it's pouring. So he likes that running water thing. If I could, and I was sufficiently able to motivate my hubby to rig up a tap that's, I was only thinking this yesterday, so it is to rig up a tap that has a system where it rings a bell 3 times, waits 10 seconds, and then running water comes out, which would give Zach a chance to go, oh, there's the bell, I've got time to get out of my bed and go to the tap so I get running water, and have this go off 2 or 3 times and give him some running water for, I don't know, a couple of minutes each time. He drinks water. I don't think there's an issue with him drinking water. I just think he really, really enjoys running water. Don't know what it is about him. Casey and he used to lie in the kitchen sink, run the tap, run the drink water tap, and Zach would be sitting in the, like the vegetable peeling tray. You know when you buy a kitchen, brand new sink, you get all these accessories with the sink. So this one had like a vegetable washing kind of drainer tray bucket thing that, you know, sat into this tray. He used to actually lie in this thing when he was a kitten, and even when he was an adult. And he would sit there, and then when the drink tap was put on, he'd be sitting there. He'd be curled up in a ball, and it would be flowing down onto his leg, and he'd be licking. Crazy cat. So yeah, he's always liked running water. Not really afraid of it either. Not that I have splashed my cats or anything, but yeah, he likes the running water. He's the only one who has ever done that. Yeah, he's weird. But Godric and Lexi being the sister, have issues. Lexi at some point must have really pissed off Godric, because Lexi is my calico, and she has obviously given him a dog's life because he's now big enough and he's fighting back. Well, in the mornings, I've got 2 bowls that have 2 bins, you know, little circles in each. So 2 cats eat side by side. Well, excuse me, runny nose. Casey piles in to get the food. I do this in a cup, pour it down a tube into the run, and Casey kind of elbows everyone else out of the way and starts, you know, vacuuming his food up. Well, Zach will sometimes stand next to Casey and start eating. Well, Godric and Lexi eyeball each other, and then Godric goes, I'm having none of this, I'm not eating next to her. Wanders over to the other 2 boys and elbows himself in and shoves Zach out of the way so that Zach can eat with Lexi. I was like, yeah. Cats, it's insane. They're, yeah, full of personality. And every time Lexi comes out from the run, Godric will just turn around and look at her, and she's kind of going, I'm not going to go out. And then he'll just hiss at her if she pushes it. Yeah, there's all this little subtle play between them. But she's a bitch. She's such a grumpy bitch. She's stroppy. She will fight them. She will stand up for herself or whatever, rightly or wrongly, probably wrongly. But yeah, so she's probably picked on him once too often. Casey, I don't know what's been going on, but Casey for a little while had a bloody ear. He was probably fussing it once it had got scratched, but he had clearly got into a fight with one of the others. And had a bleeding ear for a little while, and then was probably over grooming it, so it was, you know, staying bloody longer than it should have been. So I don't know if that was from Lexi or if that was from Godric, because the 3 siblings I think are a year or two. Well, the siblings I got when I fostered them back in 2012, so they're all 8, and Godric I think I saw is 6 in my Google memories, my photos, because he was born March, I think. The photos came up of him in the memories many years ago, so 6, yeah. So yeah, they're all middle-aged. So yeah, they keep me slightly amused, but hubby's allergic to them, so they don't get to come in and play. Godric I used to bring in every so often to have a bit of a visit. I missed a T, a G and an N. A T, a G and an N. Okay. Yeah, Godric used to come in for visits, but because of the way their pen is, it's harder to get them out now, so I haven't brought him in. He didn't really know what to do when he did come in either, so it's probably just as well that they don't come in too often. He'd hide and kind of watch everything happen. Whereas out in their space they're much more comfortable, but I do miss the whole petting and interaction. But when you haven't got a house set up for a cat without the litter and all of that kind of thing, it's, you're even more on edge if they're going to go and, pee somewhere that they're not meant to be. And I don't want them now jumping up onto the counters. What? 4, an S and a squiggly thing. 4. S and squiggly thing. It's like an upside down. There it is. It's not like an upside down Y. It's probably a math symbol that I just don't know the name of. That's that one. It's like a cursive Y, so it's got the curls on it. And then a 4. I think I need to re-blue tack this. And an S. See, the beauty of having the numbers is I can pop them straight back in with very little effort at all. I do enjoy that. S. Oh, I need a moon and a small t. Small t I have out. 21. Moon. Where did you go? Moon. 10 and small t. So doing all the small ones first, small colours, and then it means I can have a go with a multi-placer and really crack on. What? Ooh, you're not meant to be there. That was an S. S? Oh, it's gone. Oh well. Fell off my pen. Not to worry. 28. Sophie has moved some of these in my box. That's what's troubled. Right. What next? Okay, let's go with the X's, which is not really the best way of doing these, but what I might do is this. Alright. Now you see the gaps. I think Mrs. Coffee has gone like this and shaken it down. This is what I do. I look for the line, so I need 4, and I will get it and I will just move it slightly and push it in. So this one's 3, okay, so I've got 3 separate ones here, miles apart from each other. I'll just grab the first one and slide them up into each other so that the pen grabs 3 in a row all tightly together. So yeah, that's just my technique. Not necessarily the only way of doing it, but it's a way of doing it. So if you want to steal that idea when you're multi-placing, don't think you have to get them all lined up, all shoved and pretty and all that kind of thing. You need to have a reasonable amount together that are the right way up. That's all you need to use multi-placing. The bigger the tray, the better with multi-placing, I have found. I love these trays. I don't even have a regular tray with me, but a regular tray is kind of like that kind of size by comparison to this. I used them in one of my first lot of kits. So somebody recommend this size tray. Went on to AliExpress, bought 4, and I've used 1. I don't use multiple trays at the same time. My desk isn't big enough, and it's asking for trouble. I'm going to send something flying somewhere because I don't have the space. Nor do I want the space. I actually like the compact kind of setup, although it does get a bit frustrating in some ways that I can't, you know, spread out or have work kind of zones. I mean, this is sitting on a cushion. The package, the storage bag, it's sitting on a cushion propped up next to me on the side of the couch, but rather than being on a table or some other, you know, substantive area. But you do what you do. You get creative in the large part as much as you can. So what is coming up this week? The TicWatch, that is STEOCH. The TicWatch has revived itself. Em and Matt came up with a video called with the TicWatch, and they have come up with a stitch along for 7 weeks called a TicWatch Alone. And because I'm part of Jessie Guy, G-U-A-Y, Guy, Jessie Guy, she is Mislaid Pages if you want to check out her Etsy or her YouTube. And she is a good buddy of Rachel Rae, so you will be familiar with her name if you watch Rachel. And Jessie and Rachel invited me along to the group last year when they did the Golden Girls stitch along, which was a mystery until week 1. And no, I don't even think it was week 1. It was actually the floss drop when we got all the floss colours. Somebody worked out that it was the Golden Girls, and that was it, game over. And I kind of went, yeah, I'm not really into it. I'll do the extras, but I'm not really into the Golden Girls. So this time round, it is a revamp of an old project that Em did 10 years ago, actually. It's House. I do like House, and it is 6 colours. 6 colours. It's going to fit into a 5x7. It comes with a border. Sorry, it doesn't come. It is a border, and I think it says "Bless this house," and then it's got the picture of House, MD, you know, Hugh Laurie, under it. So yes, this is inspiring rewatching of House by a lot of people. And Em came up with these color schemes, so yes, I'm going to do this. I like House, but it's more kind of, you know, being part of the group and stuff. And while I'm not home during our lockdown, because I'm still at work, yeah, it's something else to just, you know, join in on. And they do competitions, they do challenges, and it's sassy. If you're precious about language or jokes or anything like that, don't join. It's Emma actually, sorry, not Emma, I'm not sure if she's an Emma or an Emily, but anyway, she calls everyone mother bitches and things like that. So it's a little bit irreverent, it's a little bit cheeky, and it's a lot of fun. And there's usually alcohol involved. On her part, she will actually host the video. We came up with cocktails last year, and I came up with the cocktails before I joined the group, so I think Rachel's one was based on whiskey or some other dangerous Irish thing. Get down! Stop doing that! No! Down! 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 No! Go and eat your custard. Thank you! She needs to have a sleep. I've got to get off and get her down to have a snuggle so she falls asleep. She's kind of a little bit iffy with these daytime sleeps these days. She doesn't always have them, or sometimes she'll have 3-hour naps and the other time she'll have like a half hour. Anyway, I'll get this done and I will spend a little bit of time with her if she hasn't already conked out. Well, let's see what happens. She's sitting with her sister at the moment. This is the note. So yeah, the TicWatch is happening this week with the Peppermint Purple. Is a long block that gets released on Wednesdays. So that's going to take a bit of extra work. It's a long skinny block, so it's 5 or 6 stitches by the whole width. So each block is 14, 14, 35, no, 34, no, it'd be 35 because there's an extra stitch in there, and then 14, 14, so what's that, 80 stitches, something like that, give or take. So that comes out on Wednesday nights, so that will be a bit more work in that one. But one of the things Em had been saying was about using blends and how you can work the shading from one area into another. And it made me think of the diamond painting, to be honest, how we're using these effectively massive pixels of changing from, you know, cream to yellow, and how they dot the colours in between. So you can actually see the yellow here and the cream here, and then there's a paler kind of cream here, and then there's more pale cream there. Well, the ideas with the blends, and she was talking about this on a live video this morning, which was really, really informative for me, of how the blends work and why they work so well, is because what you're doing is you're taking a shade from here, and then a shade from here, and you're mixing the two in situ, so it's a bit of both. And yeah, I just thought it was a really cool way of both explaining it, and a way in some ways for me to be able to use them in an experiment for my own stuff. So maybe with the cunning cross stitch with the Harry Potter, I might throw in some blends. So there's things like howlers, or even the owls, and sometimes you want to have a distinct break in colour, but sometimes you want to have that shade and blend. So I think I would be willing to play with that a little bit more, because of how Em is kind of getting us to think outside that, you know, traditional cross stitch a bit more, and using 2 single threads together and getting, you know, a completely individual colour. So that's cool. I'm really enjoying it, and I'm looking forward to that. One thing I forgot to mention on my floss tube was that I went to the what would it be, office supply store during the week and bought some graph paper to try and design a backstitch, a blackwork COVID project. So that's my plan with that one. And I've got to get my ideas onto some paper and see if I can do that. I'm slightly terrified, so we'll see how we go. The creator of the Peppermint Purple stuff, Claire, she did give me the name of an app that I can use, but it's only on the iPad or iPhone. My iPhone has a cracked screen, so I'd need to be using it on my iPad, which is an iPad 2, and I don't know if it's got the guts anymore to be able to run something like that, so I'll have to see if I can, if it can work. I'm thinking the App Store might be able to tell me if it will work or not. Oh, it was going to take it. Gee, it's a full strip. Alright. Are we there yet? I don't know what to call this thing. This is like the little eyeball kind of thing on the side. You know, the curve with the dot? No. Is it a boob? I don't know. Alright. What else is going on? Is there anything else I can share? I don't know. Leave is getting closer. I can't believe we're in May. Oh, I got an email from Jeannie, I think it is, Genie.com. Just gave me a notification because it's coming up to my dad's birthday in 6 days. He's going to be 92. I can never remember how old he actually is. It's kind of like I'll be out by a year. So it was nice to actually find out that he is actually 92 this year. And my next sister up, she has a birthday 2 days after him. And the only reason I know it's that way around because she is older than he is. So he comes before her. I think that's how it works. I could be wrong now that I'm thinking about it. Oh my god. And my stepmom, she had a birthday the same date as my sister. So, yes, bit of irony there. Yeah. Now, so next weekend I will probably give him a video call. He has newfangled technology that it has his iPhone. He got a new iPhone. He's so slow with the iPhone, but he's always been an Apple Mac man. He was there before the rest of us. And the iPhone has an app that will talk to his hearing aid, so he can... No. The phone connects direct to his hearing aid or some other whiz-bang technology, so he can actually hear really well if he connects on the right kind of system. So that's pretty cool. Because before, I'd be talking to him and he struggled to make out what I was saying, and then I would talk too fast and all that kind of, yeah. So, yes, phone calls with him was a struggle. No, I'm not liking how these are going down. Maybe it's how I'm doing it. I don't know if it's this head or if it's the way I'm placing. But trying to get them into their little boxes is the issue. That's a bit better. Alright, so it's my technique that's not quite right. You've got to make sure that they're in the head for the multis properly, like nice and smooth up to each other. That way you don't have too much wriggling, because when you put drills down on tape, they don't move. Moving them around on the plastic, on the adhesive tape, just struggles, whereas on poured glue there is a bit more of give and slide. You just don't have that with the regular adhesive. One of the drawbacks. The other drawback, of course, as everybody knows, is the rivers that we get with the double-sided tape. What else is happening? Sophie's getting into everything, 2-year-old as she is. These are not vitamins. No, I think you're done. Shouldn't encourage her, but when she's not eating what she's meant to be eating, you kind of think, oh, what the hell? What do I do? She needs to get some kind of calories into her. These are being a real pain. Anyway, let's see how we go. Oops. Shuffle, shuffle. I'm going to have to give these shuffle in a second because I'm running out of straight lines. Oh, what happened there? Oh, big skirt. Now, big skirts are not a bad thing. You can put other drills on top of them because there's usually more than half of the space that is still vacant to stick. Ugh, that was a terrible shake. I shake better with my right than my left. I don't understand it. Maybe more fine motor control. Don't know. Ugh, and the gapping in that is horrific. So I've got to slide them kind of in. Where did what go? Yeah, it's car outside. Go look out the window. I was on a video chat with somebody yesterday, and we had this amazing rainbow happen right outside the window, and it was so close. It was kind of like reach out and touch this thing. I've actually driven through a rainbow, believe it or not. The kid then saw a wallaby across the road at the same time, so it's like, ooh, everything's happening. But I took a picture of this rainbow. It was gorgeous. And if I think of it, we'll see how I go. If I think about it and I get the picture in, I will insert it and you get to see what I saw. And otherwise it was a semi on-off dreary day yesterday. I had Today is not so bad. I've got washing on the line. It's not exactly sunny, but it's the only chance I get. So we'll see how we go. Half dry is better than not dry at all. Oh, itchy nose. It's time to have some tea. You wanting to go outside? I don't think you should go outside on your own. Yeah, you don't have your shoes on. So she's quite chatty. She's just saying an awful lot of... She's getting this. Sometimes it's... Oh, I know what she said, and it's making a lot of sense, and then a lot of the time it's like, I have no idea what she just said. She's got a fistful of M&Ms. She's only got 2. Her hands are so small. Her hand is full. Oh, and she's eating a cherry jelly lolly. There are 4 colours left in this bit alone. Heavens to Betsy. Alright, I'll keep going. Triangle, it's going to be a bit of a pick and mix with this one. This is into the fence, which... Oh, I haven't put the photo up. Well, anyway. I could insert the photo. Let me do some jiggery pokery. I think it was there. Now, where am I going to put it? Oh, I know where I'll put it. Get up. Ah, right. There's the picture. There. On that way. That way. Over there. Yeah. Anyway, it's the fence that's going up towards the mountain. So there's a bit of shading through it with the way the light falls on the wood. I'm going to get a smidge more blue tack and hopefully fly through this. Looking for the triangles. There's not many of these. The beauty with the fresh blue tack is you need just the lightest of touches to grab and to place. And what will happen when I go around with the neighbours is they will shove it into place, and because it's not down hard, it will actually move a little bit more freely, just a little bit freely. So the light touch is helpful when it comes to giving that little bit of freedom until they're all in, and then you really ram them home with the roller and push them with quite a bit of force. At least I do, when they're all down, because that's when they kind of nestle into each other and you hear the clicks and it's that satisfying sound. So initially I don't want to be too heavy on them. Alright. Now, one thing that has been on my mind recently are my subscriber numbers. I've noticed other subscribers, sorry, not other subscribers, other channels, and what they do and how they're growing their numbers and things like that. And you know, it's all well and good for them. I'm not really a self-promoter, you know, unnecessarily and things like that. I mean, yes, I want to get my channel out there, but I won't necessarily do it just for the sake of getting numbers, if that makes some kind of sense. but I am conscious of coming up to 1,000 being the next milestone. I'm starting to think what I want to do for that, and yeah, just mulling over it at the moment, not doing anything, not organizing anything, just mulling it over. It's probably, I don't know, 3-4 months away yet, at least. So I would hope I've got plenty of time. Oops, if I don't. No, seriously. Yeah, I do want to do something. I'm not a big person with the whole freebies and stuff. Part of it because I'm coming from Australia, part of it because I don't want to buy subscribers. I kind of hope that if you come along and you listen, that you really enjoy what you're hearing. So, yeah, and, well, giveaways are fun. And I have enjoyed doing the giveaways, don't get me wrong. But, yeah, I'm just not quite sure how this one would work or anything else. It's not going to be something I'm going to... No, I don't think I'm going to be advertising it. I think it's just going to happen. And, yeah, if you're in it, you're in it. And if you're not, you're not. As a subscriber myself, I don't like being manipulated into doing something. Not even as a subscriber, as a consumer. I don't like the whole do this to get this kind of thing. And this is back in Reader's Digest days. Right, my dad was a Reader's Digest subscriber, and we'd get the magazine every month, and I love the magazine, but every now and then they do the mail out with the competitions, like the sweepstakes that they do. And with the sweepstakes, you'd get an envelope. It was quite a chunky envelope, and you opened the envelope and you were told, this is a winner, this is a winning envelope. And then they would get you to, I don't know, tear off this bit and stick it there. Then they'd tell you to scratch off this bit and then stick that thing, you know, and it was all of this kind of, I don't know, yeah, it was marketing bullshit. And it was just like, oh, you know, it's not even like a scratchy lottery card. It was even worse, because it was kind of saying you've got to do these 5 things to do this one thing, and then you've got to, and I was just like, oh no, I'm not enjoying the whole do this, and then you get nothing for it, or, you know, I was just like, oh, give me a break. So I did it a couple of times, but yeah, I really got a sour taste in my mouth after doing it a few times and going, this is rubbish. So I don't, you know, I don't usually do the whole kind of, you know, do this for this. I mean, look, yeah, I'll comment on people's videos, and I usually comment, you know, about something that's in the video. No, go sit down. Please go sit down. What? Not taking no for an answer. Can you say hi? Say hi. Hi! Oh, you usually get byes, but now you got highs. Okay, get your fingers off. No! Alright. So yeah, look, I get it. Maybe some people love it, I don't know. No, you are not drawing on my canvas. Maybe it is the whole kind of game kind of thing. Maybe it's the whole, you know, thing for chance or something. I don't know. It's just not my thing. You're a wally. Is that Sophie? Is that you? But look, the channels that I have seen that do it, you know, it's their thing, and yeah, it's all good. I mean, if I'm dropping a comment in, I'll drop the phrase that they want or something. I mean, I know I've used it a couple of times where I kind of said, hey, if you've made it this far, put in a, you know, and it's like, okay, the method to the madness, yeah, I get the whole who are the frequent watchers, who has learned to stick around, you know, for the 3/4 mark where the real meat comes out in a whip and chat in some people, you know, that kind of thing. Thanks, Sophie. Don't push them too hard. I don't think that pen had any glue on it. Oh, and now she's gone. Ooh, she's gone for the meaty one. Gentle. No. So, yeah. I get it. I get the whole hype, you know, if you've got friends, it's kind of like come and tell your friend to come and, you know, and the tag and what's that? Like, share, and comment. It's all over Facebook, and it's like, ugh, I know you're trying to get your names out, but it's just like, ugh, no. And businesses do it all the time. It's a marketing thing. It's, you know, it's how social media breeds, but yeah, it drives me nuts too. So if it's a like, share, comment, tag kind of thing, so Instagram is the same. If it's a like, share, comment, tag, I don't always play. Or if it's a like, thanks Sophie. If it's a like and comment, I you know, I might do that. But if it's a share, I kind of think, you know what, my friends can make their own decisions, and I don't necessarily, you know, if it's something I believe in, I'll share it, but if it's not something I believe in, I probably won't. Sorry, tough. Yeah, it's just me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just boring or too, I don't know. Please stop. Stop, don't, no, you're going too hard. Too, I don't know, I kind of think people have enough shit going on in their lives and they don't need more marketing crap just for the sake of, you know, like those chain messages that go around. I can't see the field because your hand is in the way, Sophie. Yeah, I'm not into those. People have been putting, there's so many chain things like, what was it? Walked into the room, 34 people were in there, shot 30, how many were left in the room kind of thing. Those kind of things. I'm quite happy to do a bit of the brain, you know, nutting through and kind of go, oh, what's the answer? And, you know, think a bit laterally. Please be careful. No, squeeze. Put it together. Put no, finger out. Yep. There you go. Good girl. Quite happy to do the math, but not happy to share it, you know, and spam my wall for the sake of a right answer. You know, and I've said that. I've said, you know, the answer is such and such, and then I get a message saying, hey, you're right. And this isn't a dig at anybody in particular, because I've got these from multiple places, and friends are posting these all over the place. So yeah, I mean, quite happy to do the riddles, but just not gonna pass it on. Don't usually allow them in the groups that I admin in either. If I've got to pre-approve a comment, I'm kind of going, no, it's not related, you can take a walk. You know, it's not for diamond painting, or it's not for whatever, so no. No. Be very gentle with that one. Is it in? No. That's a bit pointy, Sophie. And I think it might have wax in it. So yes, I would hope that you don't feel that you get spam and rubbish from me, either on my wall or in my group or on my page, that most of what is put on there has a meaning. Yeah. I can't see. Your hand is in the way. Oh, I missed a diamond. Sophie, you didn't tell me I missed a diamond. Whoops, careful. Where'd it go? So this week with my projects, I've got the Wednesday big release. I have the cunning cross stitch to catch up with. There's 3 more. And the rest aren't really any stitch alongs, they're kind of distinct projects, so I might just stick with the cunning cross stitch, the brain blank now, cunning cross stitch, the peppermint purple, my evening as my evening editing, because I have so much with the cunning to catch up with. I need to finish, or want to finish, my owl tonight. I don't think it's a specific owl. It's certainly not Hedwig, and I'm not too sure who it is. Do I have? Yes, I do. So, excuse. Oh my goodness. No, no, no. She has a thing about magnets. She loves playing with my magnets. When hubby and I were doing our couples therapy in the kitchen the other day with the putting in new lights, she was up and down the ladder and she found the kitchen fridge magnets. She loved them. Absolutely loved them. But you think I can get her to, you know, just go play with the magnets on the fridge? No. She comes to my desk and she'll pick up the magnets that are here, and she'll start sticking them on the ruler that I've got at the very front of my desk. That kind of thing. What are you doing? No. Oh, you got the ruler down. Right. Yes, magnets are fun. Until you eat them as a child. Do not do this at home. I did see somebody posted in one of the groups that their kid had eaten magnets and they couldn't retrieve them or something, and they ended up pooping it out. So that's probably a good result, if maybe because it was only one magnet. I know button cell batteries are a big danger item, and multiple magnets are a huge danger because they stick bits of bowel through each other. You know, they'll go through, one will go through and then the other one will catch it from, you know, some other section, and so you'll end up with 2 bits that are stuck. All those kind of nasties. So anyway, yes, not good. So what was this? There was something else that I saw on one of the groups as well, and I kind of thought, oh gee, you know, it kind of maybe brought it home a little bit more, was that a lot of the group were getting sick with the current virus going around, and Tassie being Tassie, we had, as I said, no new cases for the last 2 days. They seem to have got a handle on it up north, and yeah, whoa. The idea that we might eventually get to actually being... Case, stop, no, that's attached. Stop, it's tied. Oh, you bent my ruler. That's naughty. Where's the blue tack? Oh, you're a turd. So yeah, the idea of actually getting COVID free is potentially out there, and how then we keep it COVID free and go back to life as normal. Oh, that was That was from there, I think. Yeah, that's a whole new thought process. Go down and get it. Two of my colleagues, they kind of connect each morning with other colleagues in their office, sit down with a mug of tea or whatever, and two of my colleagues are on this little two-seater. Where did it go? Is it under the chair? Can you see it? So they're buddied up next to each other on these tiny two-seaters, and it's like, oh my god, don't you know what social distancing is? But yet, on the other hand, we don't have any active cases in our area, and it's like, well, there is no way that you could have caught it if it was here. Like, if it isn't here. So, you know, the whole paranoia doesn't need to go into overdrive. Are you in? So yeah, the brain gets kind of, what are they doing? Don't they know, you know, the rules, and why are they making light of them? But then on the other hand, you're kind of thinking, well, if it's not here, then why do we need to be, you know, staying so far apart? So yeah, there's just that whole head-wrecking bit. There were some reports that I saw saying that some of these restrictions could be, you know, 2 years in the making. I don't know. No, it was an article I saw, not from you. Ooh, goodness, what the heck did I just do there? Can you put the ruler back? You're a pain. Your trouble, missy. Anyway, I don't want to drag the whole talk down. Yeah, winter's coming. We had snow in the middle of Tasmania this week. It's a particularly chilly weekend. The weather front is actually coming from the Antarctic, so no surprise really that we have got snow in the Midlands. But there have been videos put up on Facebook of it snowing, and you know, it's kind of like white, snowy wonderland. Some guy posted because he was going to his girlfriend's partner's or whatever, her place, in the middle of nothing. I've gone and pulled a drill up. Or Sophie's pulled, there it is, a drill. There we go. Panic, panic. Yes, partner conjugal visits are allowed. Go figure. Yeah, but it will be interesting to see what happens. I mean, I think we've got 50 odd active cases in Tasmania. It's going to be interesting as that number drops, and if we get no new numbers. The problem is going to be if we get numbers that are still flying in. So what they're doing currently is, if you fly in from interstate, you are driven to the hotel by the police and you are locked in your room, effectively. And you are there for the 2-week period. It's not self-isolation anymore. They're taking it out of people's hands. There are exceptions if you've got kids, I think. And then you are brought to your home and you are isolated there. I found another diamond. You're not very helpful. And so it will be interesting if we get any new cases that fly in, and I guess these people are monitored for symptoms or they're checked for symptoms. I don't know if they need to have a negative test to get out of their hotel room at the end of the 2-week period, or if they just get to walk away. So yeah, that will be interesting, because if we have no community transfers and the only thing changing then is people flying in, and sailing in, well, they're the only real potential risks. And any other cold and flu kind of sniffle, we're going to be treating as just a cold or flu. You know, it's not going to be, oh my god, it's COVID. Whereas at the moment, because there's still that kind of, you know, we're worried about the asymptomatic people and things like that, whether or not they've got through, but we're still not getting community transfers, and that's going to be interesting how they work that one, I think. So, yeah, we'll see what goes with that one. Because that could potentially mean that they have to say life goes back to normal from a point of view of the community, schools, work, everything. You go back to work, you all, you know, go back to your job, retail happens as normal, traffic is back on the street, and your kids are in school. So, yeah, can we wait and see? What? No, you need the blue tack to stick it. There. Push. There you go. I need to tie it up, I think. Alright, ready to get down? You're going to go watch an Octonaut. Go, get Flopsy. And go sit down. I'll be over in a minute. We are having roast pork for dinner today, so that means trying to get the crackling perfect. So that's what I'm going to be doing once I get Sophie down for a sleep. The crackling has been rendering this morning in the oven to get the worst of the drippy fat off, and then I'll peel off the back. I do not know what happened with that one. I'll peel off the back as it kind of gets soft and separates. That went weird. Oop, drill. It's getting to the point at this end, this end down there, that I can start curling it into rolls, so I'm really only working on a narrow strip, and I'm not resting on this potentially peeling off drills, which I definitely do not want to happen. You see, and they're getting stupid again. The blacks are not exactly the best behaved. But they're not bad. I don't quite know what it is. Well, I do know what it is. They're not Ever Moment. And they have tiny, uneven edges. Rather than having that crisp, neat edge. That would be the opportunistic hunter. Oh, that's not a very pretty lay. Let's see how we go with that one. Not so happy. Yeah, the blacks, not brilliant. Ugh, what have I done? That'll work. Trying to get 4 in a row in a tight pack, that's what I'm after. Which is why you kind of need to grab the ones at the end, so that you've got that little bit of space to push them along and line them up in, rather than, you know, sticking a 7-placer into a field that just hasn't got space. See, I've just picked up one that's upside down because it was a little bit too close. So yeah, I get the end, give it a bit of a nudge, and keep going. So there's 4. Ooh. And hopefully we start flying along. I've gone way too short. I do like seeing how many creators are doing technique videos. I think it's really helpful to a lot of you. And having different people do their take on a technique is really cool. I need to actually catch up on some videos, but I'm a bit behind on what people are doing, to be honest. I have noticed that a lot of people are still doing the lives, and yeah, I've said before, lives are not necessarily my thing to rewatch, just with all the high and the lack of maybe planning. Whereas a WiPnChat tends to have a little bit more kind of, oh, I don't know, structure or something. So, I haven't necessarily caught up on all the news for what's happening around on YouTube. So yeah, I might be a bit out of the loop on some things. I know there are a lot of collaborations seem to be coming up. There's a new is there a mystery swap coming up. I think Rebecca is involved with that one. That is an Evermoment, preferably an Evermoment mystery swap, because Evermoment will actually take the image off the page for you and will do a blank inventory sheet. So you don't need to get the canvas delivered to your house and then get it, you know, duct tape or whatever over the picture. They usually recommend, on doing these mystery swaps, that you get a partner to put duct tape over the image before the person starts diamond painting on it. The other thing, of course, you could do is do it yourself and not put it anywhere near a light source, so keep it on a dark background until you have put that additional cover over the picture. Because when the light's off, I'm not going to see what these icons are. And the other thing is, this is also a black and white print. I don't know if Evermoment would do it black and white, but having a black and white canvas means that you don't really get a hint of what the image is in advance, as opposed to getting the likes of a Diamond Art Club, and you can see everything that you're going to get. So that was one of the reasons why I didn't particularly want to have Diamond Art Club with the opaque, with the clear cover. I kind of like the mystery in the opaque, in that I don't know what's coming next. That's just me. What have I done now? I've done the Christmas tree from Diamond Art Club now, and I have done Who You Say I Am. I do kind of like the clear cover. You actually work in such a fast progression, or at least I have with those, that I've found I'm flipping the cover right out of the way. I'm maybe using something under this arm to stop me sticking maybe in this direction, or I'll twist it so that it's, you know, it's going in angles and all that kind of thing. So I'm kind of getting the hang of using the clear cover. But yeah, it wouldn't be my preference from a secret point of view of keeping that mystery happening. But yeah, I do like the poured glue, have to say. Definitely a bit of a fan with that. I saw Mrs. Coffee's live yesterday for me, and how she was struggling with the mounted glue as she was trying to get used to doing that. Works a bit differently. I haven't actually done my Treasure Studios arts yet, so yeah, that's still up ahead. But to be honest, Mrs. Coffee probably doesn't do an awful lot of tape anyway. She doesn't like the double-sided adhesive, which is fine, but so it might actually feel more like a double-sided adhesive to me anyway, so it's going to feel reasonably same old, even if it is a, you know, acid-free kind of thing that Rachel is saying it is. So yeah, I don't know that it's going to feel much more different from a tape. I think Rachel is trying to educate the masses. Apparently it is not a tape. But I think because it goes on like a tape, it's a tape. Sorry. I don't know. I could be wrong. But if it goes on like a tape, then it's a tape. Might not have the same values as a tape. But yeah, there you go. Alright. That is me done. Right. Now, okay, so this will go in the middle of the week as always. Please click like, subscribe, do all the, you know, I don't know, could have said it in the beginning, but anyway, I'm saying it now. If you're still here, if you know, as insane as you are, and you've had a good deal of progress done with your work, then please click the like, click subscribe, pass on to your friends if, you know, my wittering on is something that you enjoy and value, and thank you if you do. Yes, all that click, and that's a lot of pressure. Even on some of this stuff that's already been down, it's still clicking because I can feel that they're coming up. Lost another one. It might be on me. It is.
Do it on that side.
There you go. But look, we're done, and I can see the subtlety in that change. Yeah, you can see the lines. So you've got this line across the top and the line on this. Let me see if it is going to show up. Yeah, there it is. So you can see how there's the subtle difference between the light and the dark. It's not just a plain solid color or anything. So I'm really enjoying how this is coming out color wise. Certainly, as I've said before, don't doubt Alan and her skill in doing the colors. The diamond choice can be a bit questionable. Now, I did hear the vicious rumor that the diamond drills are running out because the manufacturers haven't got back to full speed, so that could be interesting, along with the fact that, you know, Diamond Art Club don't have many current kits in their stock because the shipments aren't coming across. Yeah, the world could be an interesting place. So please, time to destash the stash, or dash the stash. Who did that? Jennifer might have done dash the stash as her hashtag, which is really cool. Yeah, time to get into your stash. Time to maybe get into other hobbies. If you can't do diamond painting because you haven't got many kits yet, I don't know. Do something. Please have fun. Please stay safe in whatever you are going to do this next week. Please drop me a line if you need to talk. With regard to doing a COVID live, the chat about how this is going to, how this has affected you, how this is affecting you, where we're at, where the whole fear and paranoia and everything else is at. I think that's going to be I'm going to do that in a couple of weeks when I've got some leave, so I'll be able to do it in a midweek section, potentially before some of the other regular lives happen. I don't know. It's a very busy live schedule. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think because people are in lockdown, I don't necessarily have to stick to a nighttime EST, so I might put it in as a morning EST, which gets kind of Aussie evening viewers, if Aussies even watch YouTube live, to be honest. We'll see what happens. That's where I'm kind of thinking at the moment. So I will be sending out an email to a couple of friends to see will they join me, can they join me, what time that might suit them, or anything like that. So that's the game plan with that. Ooh, I did my nails this weekend with my Lily and Fox. I binned the video because it dubbing and it was just terrible. So my Lily and Fox, so these are like Colour Street nails. They're stick-on nails and then UV extras, and yeah, they're passable. It's better than smudged nail varnish, that's to be sure. So yeah. So still keeping the length. Please come back to me, my nail technician. Oh dear. The things that I'm so glad I don't colour my hair. Yeah, that's going to be interesting when people start coming back out and it's like, I didn't realise you were that grey, or you were that colour even, because, yeah. Joys. Alright, I will let you go. I will go and play with the pork, and then I will play with the stitching. Alright, take care of yourselves, please stay safe. I will see you around on the videos. Monday, of course, you would have had the next chapter in Who You Say I Am and Phil Baker's book. Tuesday will have already happened, and I think that is... no, I can't remember. I saw it on my schedule and I can't think what it is. But anyway, I've got videos scheduled. I have potentially got a Diamond Art Club unboxing. Potentially. Can't remember if I've actually scheduled it or not. And you have some flip-throughs with some colouring books on the weekend. Hannah Lynn's Whimsy Girls at Work and Kibby Girls, which coincidentally are also working girls. Not working girls, but, you know, girls who work. So very, very similar in themes between the two. So that might be one that you might want to check out if you're into colouring, and there's some books there that you would like to check. And of course then, yes, the Friday Facts. If you have some topics that you would like, please shoot me an email or a comment or something really, really quickly, because I generally tend to do my Frivolous Facts video on a Thursday night, which is the night before it goes live, because it's only a short video, so it doesn't take long. So yes, if you are interested in any subject matter there, if it doesn't get in this week, it'll get into another future episode. Alright, enough of me. Bye for now, take care, and I will see you around on the tubes.